this is a fact. Best record on the road, Seattle. It all adds up. The SuperSonics in a season where so many teams have hopes of an NBA title. They're the best. Why?
They are the best, and the reason that they are the best, I guess I could do that fact thing too. Fact, they lead the NBA in steals. Fact, they lead the NBA in forcing teams to turn the basketball over. In fact, they have the attitude. They are the nastiest take no prisoners team in the NBA this year.
And in sports, defenses win championships. Seattle proud of theirs, and they go deep. 10 players. Kendall Gill and the green-clad Sonics have it first. Payton was shooting better than ever this year, over 50%. Strickland draws him. Gill with Buck Williams. The drive by Kemp. And Gary Payton with a 2, had one toe on the line. Strickler, a great penetrator. Robinson has the ability to shoot inside and outside. Harvey Grant to Strickland on the drive. Strickland, the little guy underneath, to tie it at 2. So the 2-point guards score first.
And both teams showed a great deal of patience in that first possession. No quick shot like that one from Kendall Gill. And Blaine Reichel is hearing it from George Karl as we watch Rod Strickland penetrate, miss, and he's one of the very best at staying inside, digging it out, and put it back in.
A late whistle. Clyde Drexler got a piece of Gill as he took that jump shot. Gill, the number 5 scorer for Seattle, 14 a game. It was a good pickup for the Sonics from the Hornets for Eddie Johnson and Dana Barros, and a switch of number 1s, which means that Seattle is going to get Charlotte's number 1 and a lottery pick. So that they came out rather nicely.
A good pickup is being very understated. It was a great pickup.
4-2 Seattle. Grant to Drexler. Passes the 3-point try. It's Strickland on the drive. Won't go down. Drexler. Clyde Drexler, who has had a terrific month of April. He's averaging 25 a game and 9 rebounds this month.
Drexler is back to being the Drexler of old after a very slow rehab. It took him a lot longer than he thought. After the All-Star game, he started his climb back to being Clyde the Glove.
Kendall Gill for a 3. Michael Cage gives Seattle another chance. No whistle, and now a call as Buck Williams bends over in some pain. Buck Williams, veteran performers here in Portland.
Michael Cage on the spin, and the ball is knocked out of bounds, and Buck Williams pays the price for being inside. But the Sonics showed part of their problem is perimeter shooting, and when they are struggling to score the basketball, that's when you have a chance to control it.
Offensive foul on Detlef Schrempf, illegal pick. Drive by Drexler, clears out to Cliff Robinson, or Clifford now. He is noted in the program. Good ball movement, and Buck Williams gives Portland its first lead. At the other end, the foul on Harvey Grant.
On number 44, Harvey Grant.
Clyde Drexler has been the guy that drives the engine for the Trailblazers over the course of his career, and one of his strengths is his ability to rebound the basketball, and another one is his ability to find people when he's double-teamed. Buck Williams down the lane for 2, and when Portland can show that kind of patience and movement offensively, they're as good as anybody in the NBA. Their flaw is quick shooting the basketball, standing around.
John Kemp's first points, tied it at 6. So we've gone tied at 2, 4, and 6 off the opening bell here in Portland.
The Sonics, when they trap, you got to pass the basketball. Portland so far has done just that. Strickland right at the rim.
It's an interesting rivalry, and being a smaller city just to the south of Seattle and so close. Portland, this is the team they want to win. Most of all, they want to beat the Sonics.
And this is one of those things where the word hate is not a strong enough word. There is no love between these two basketball teams.
Drexler from outside. 10-8 Portland. Played less than 3 minutes. Kemp against Buck Williams. Oh, nice pass to Michael Cage. It's been tied at every even number. All 5 Sonics contributing in their 10 points. Cliff Robinson has his first basket. He leads Portland in scoring on the season, over 20 a game. Gary Payton. Oh, my. The hand is hot here in Portland.
Well, it's an offensive game so far, and both teams have been able to move the ball and get high percentage shots. Good judgment. But Harvey Grant keep it up.
Cage rebounds Grant's miss. Grant the only starter not to score. Cage left alone outside. The left-hander from San Diego State rattles out. Drexler with a rebound. Cliff Robinson all alone at the other end. He has 4. Gill with a nice drive, and look at him switch to the right hand. He penetrates with the left, goes up, and switches to the right for the score. Drexler. Grant will get the rebound. Robinson. Stolen by Sean Kemp. Schrempf brings it in. Sean Kemp with a power drive. He has 4. Seattle leads 16-14. 7.5 remaining opening quarter.
Sonics now trying to show some pressure, but if you move the ball, you can get an easy hoop. They're going to get an offensive foul against Rod Strickland.
Fans didn't like that call. Let's take a look at it.
Strickland coming down the lane and looking the other way. Shrimp was in front of the hoop and clearly there, so the call goes against Strickland. A little look of disbelief. Trying to post up Shrimp, and Harvey Grant did a good job of forcing him outside.
Now here's Shrimp against Grant. Stripped away to Portland. And with that, a timeout. 6:59 left in the opening period. The Sonics by 2.
NBA Inside Stuff, Saturdays on NBC.
Dave, now let's move on to the world.
Not understood and understated in many ways in terms of his contribution as one of the top players in the league this season. Kemp gets the rebound off the Drexler miss and a 4-on-1 break. But Kemp doesn't give it up and gets the score and a foul. Rod Strickland's second foul.
The Sonics are most dangerous in an open court, and they're able to come up with that rebound, and Sean Kemp says, oh, look what I've got, a small man on me. He takes it all the way to the rim, and Strickland picks up the foul, a chance for a three-point play, but that is a man against the child in that situation because Rod Strickland is one of those small guys.
18-14, Seattle's lead with 6:28 to go in the quarter. Cliff Robinson underneath, but Buck Williams not looking for a pass.
Normally that's a shot that Cliff takes, and Buck Williams realized and went to the glass, and the ball sailed right by his ear. Good idea, but again, you got to have that communication.
To Kemp. Partially blocked by Buck Williams, who collects the rebound. He's averaging 10.5 on the year, his best here in Portland. There's Grant driving the baseline. Kemp knocks it away, and Cage ahead to Shrimp. Stolen by Grant. Cliff Robinson on a run. Shrimp. Sonics with a 4-point lead. Oh, a nice give and go from Payton to Shrimp. He has 4. Biggest lead of the game. Seattle by half dozen. Buck Williams sees some daylight and charges through. He has 4.
So both teams have been able to move the ball, really get penetration and work in the high percentage area.
Payton for 3. Rebound, Cliff Robinson.
And both prefer the open court, so we may see one of those up and down games for the remainder of the 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Strickland's drive, he earns the foul as reach in on Payton. Well, talk about a rivalry.
It's dead even, and one would like to have the edge over the other. They give a little trophy for whoever wins the season series. This year it will go back to Seattle, but the Trailblazers would really feel good about making a statement this afternoon against George Karl's team. Rick Adelman would certainly feel it would be a boost for him headed into the playoffs.
Seattle 3-1 on the season coming into this game. 2018 as Strickland hits both free throws. He has 6 points.
If Portland's to have any success, they've got to have Strickland with pressure on the ball. If he lets Gary Payton go wherever he wants out on the court, the Sonics are going to be able to get it inside, and that's where Portland's going to get hurt.
Gill with 2, Cage with 1. 4 points for Michael Cage. He's averaging 4.5 a game on the year. Inside to Buck Williams. Fans love that. A steal by Drexler. 3-on-2 break. Strickland ties it up. 22 all. 8 points for Strickland to lead all scores. Drexler started it with a steal at the other end. Shrimp with the left hand. 6 for him.
Detlef Shrimp gives them that offensive force at the forward position that they haven't had as that ball sails out of bounds when they had Derek McKee. A year ago they had better defense from McKee, but they didn't have consistent offensive energy.
Chris Dudley making his first appearance, a 6'11 veteran from Yale University. Missed 76 games with a broken ankle, suffered in the 3rd game of the year in his first season here in Portland.
Strickland looking for a blow, put his hand up, but couldn't get out of the ball game. Let's see if Payton comes back and attacks.
Outside is Gill. They hit one cleanly. 26-22 Seattle. Terry Porter and Chris Dudley ready to check in for Portland. Buck Williams to Grant, blocked by Kemp. Shrimp recovers, fans wanted a foul. Gill to Payton. Payton has trouble. Stolen away by Strickland. 3-on-2, 4-on-2. Grant. And he is fouled.
Very fragile personality in Harvey Grant. He has struggled to try to get going offensively, and when he isn't in the game, it's very difficult for him. That was a huge shoot for him, and now he'll get a chance to come back with a 3-point play, but this was a much-needed basket for Harvey Grant.
2:57 left in the opening period. Sonics by a basket.
With Porter in the ball game, Portland becomes a team that doesn't have the penetration but has deeper perimeter shooting, and we'll find out what kind of pressure Nathan Miller applies against him.
And that's Kendall Gill reaching in to knock it away, but it goes out of bounds. Seattle needs 17 steals today to set an all-time record NBA mark for steals in a season. That's one of the little notes that George Karl has used to motivate his team in this season tonight. They have 1 so far. He has to force the 3, and no contact with the iron, so 24-second clock violation.
Porter has a bone spur in his ankle, and it gives him a little bit of a problem every now and then, but he just wasn't ready to shoot the ball against the shot clock, and it ended up being a turnover.
Nice pass by Kemp, and out it comes to Askew. McMillan, Askew, terrific ball movement, unable to connect his gill, but a foul. But that's the kind of action with the ball and away from the ball that any coach has to love.
Good patience at the offensive end for the Sonics. Drexler went for the fake, but they didn't rush the shot. Gill came in with authority, picked up the foul against Chris Dudley.
Kendall Gill, 3 for 3 from the line. Jerome Kersey makes his first Portland appearance as Harvey Grant is rested. With 2:07 left in the quarter, 28-24 the Seattle lead.
2 minutes in the quarter.
Here's Kersey. And his first shot dead center. His playing time and scoring is diminished dramatically season by season. Chance for a tie or the lead, the Blazers. Drexler for 3, and the Blazers take the lead, 29-28.
Askew is a guy in the 3 games up in Seattle that really hurt Portland, and he relishes a chance to go one-on-one, but he turns that one over.
Too many steps for Askew.
Earlier in the year, Drexler, who did not have his legs, was having trouble getting the three-point shot just to get to the basket. This one is clean, and that's another sign that Drexler is back.
That leader has admitted that he just isn't in playing shape yet, although the ankle's feeling okay. He has his first basket. He scored only 7 points all year.
Every point you get from Chris Dudley is a bonus. He is a rebounder. He is somewhat of a shot blocker, a banger. And every time he gets the hoop, you got to say, gravy.
10 on the shot clock. Askew with 3. Rebound Dudley. Final seconds of the quarter. Porter open for 3. The biggest lead from the Blazers, 34-28. A 12-2 run by the home team. NBA's #1 club, Seattle, will get the final shot of the quarter. It's Kemp who takes it. And a rebound, and a vicious rebound by Clyde Drexler. They love it in Portland. 34-28 at the break. And Drexler, the many-time All-Star, leading the way.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
This Goodyear Aqua Tread pumps away over a gallon of water every second with its deep groove aqua channel. That's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it. The all-season Aqua Tread, only from Goodyear.
The day before our big trip, Frank announced we had to stay at hotel chains. Are you serious, Frank?
Absolutely not, Frank.
No way, Frank. We expected boring cookie-cutter hotels courtesy of Frank's new budget. But ITT Sheridan was no ordinary hotel chain. But we decided not to tell Frank that.
It's grueling.
tough job, Frank, but somebody's got to do it. ITT Sheridan. Our world revolves around you.
Hey, you get a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning. You want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough-actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get tough-actin Tenactin.
What's the capital of Delaware?
Look it up. Now, no more questions.
Now, Ricky Pierce has been put into the ball game, and last time out against San Antonio, he had 26 points in 24 minutes. He is their real primetime scorer. We'll find out whether they unleash him. They get a push inside Mark Bryant.
Trying to check Sean Kemp. Here's Mark Bryant just making his first appearance. James Robinson in for his initial play as well for the Blazers. And Kemp will be arrested as Steve Scheffler comes in. A rare appearance for him.
And a very early one. Normally he's the victory cigar and the player that all the fans in Seattle call for.
Ricky Pierce, and he draws the foul from Dudley. And Dudley was talking before the game about that problem, not playing much. He said, my timing is off. I'm jumping too soon on the block, and that translates as early fouls.
He's always been a cluster foul player. When he gets one, he can very quickly go to three, and you have to sit him down, and that's been a problem for him throughout his career. So when you're coming back, it's even a greater problem.
Ricky Pierce at the line. What a free throw shooter he is. One of the best in NBA history.
A great free throw shooter. He challenged Calvin Murphy's record. Didn't get it, but has had some tremendous streaks. And not a guy you want to see on the line when the gun is up.
Well, that snaps the 12-point run by the Blazers. 36-30 early in the second.
The way you beat their pressure is to pass the basketball, and that's what Portland did that time. They hadn't done it in the games in Seattle, but a good pass ahead to Jerome Kersey ends up with Chris Dudley coming hard to the hoop. Once you beat the double team, they've got to react very quickly. The middle is open. They don't get there in time. Dudley misses, and here is the real nightmare for Chris Dudley, the line.
Just refused to go in, rattled around and touched all of the orange, but wouldn't fall into the net. Definitely one of 6 former Yale players to make it into the NBA. Tony Lavelli, the accordion player and great shooter for the Elis, perhaps the best known of the Yale Stars. And it touches a Blazer on its way out of bounds, although an errant pass. The turnovers 8 by Seattle in the first quarter. They're averaging only 15 a game.
When they have played well against Portland, they have taken very good care of the basketball, and Ricky Pierce gets another hoop.
37-32. Portland's lead trimmed to 5. Porter. Kersey up high, had it for a moment. Sam Perkins takes it away. Askew to Nate McMillan. Kersey on McMillan.
The other guy that they've got to get into the game offensively is Sam Perkins. He's yet to get a shot and finally get him the ball, but it's not where he really set up to shoot.
Pierce is short. And it's out of bounds to Seattle, and the fans thought that Kersey was pushed out of bounds and that Portland should have the ball.
Pierce short with that shot, and it comes down, and Kersey was pushed. Perkins is living good on this side.
Porter knocks it away. Another turnover. Ball kicked. And 24 seconds, actually, that is the call. He'll restart it from the sidelines. Blazers by 5 as James Robinson hits his first shot. A 2-pointer. He's played well against Seattle this year.
The Sonics play a game for him, which is a very aggressive game. The court is open. The strength of his game is taking the ball to the basket.
Rookie from Alabama. Dudley to Kersey, and it's Kersey is straightened for his jumper. 7-point lead, Portland. 4 for Kersey. Blocked by Dudley. The foul was not on Dudley. It was someone else reaching in.
On the drive for Askew, it's Jerome Kersey reaching in. Dudley got that one clean, and the Trailblazers happy to see a shot swatted back for a change.
The NBA playoffs begin next weekend on NBC.
Hey guys, farm report. Surfing championships. Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents Cowabunga! Surf's up!
Come on, go!
And so is Bessie. She's not just swatting flies now, Bob. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. She's riding this one all the way back to Wisconsin.
What a cow! What a beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
You got the winning color! Make your engine last longer. Change your oil every 3,000 miles and use the newest Pennzoil. Now with the revolutionary Penn-Star molecule, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings. Cleans in, on, around, and between moving parts to reduce heat, friction, and wear.
My car's got 295,000 miles on it.
Has 161,000 miles.
314,000. 173,000.
Pennzoil has always stood by me. It's never failed me.
You got the winning color!
When you want something better, aspire. Aspire to stop worrying about the little things. Aspire to conserve energy. Aspire to be better at handling surprises. Aspire to protect what's really important to you. Aspire to be smart with your money.
He has 5 points. Pierce, and he's fouled by Porter. He was about to break in, and Pierce says something to Porter. Didn't like the way he was handled. No, the advantage to the injury by Pierce, as we see the play again, is that it rested the veteran, so he's going to be fresh for the playoffs.
He is really very strong inside. He took exception to the fact that Porter hooked him and held, and you got to expect that against Ricky Pierce. He's a very aggressive and hostile offensive player. The only way you can play him defensively is to come back at him with the same attitude.
Both teams with reserves on the court, not a single starter. And the call is against Sam Perkins. His first. And with 7:54 to go in the half, Portland with the Pumpkin and a 5-point lead.
Trying to get the ball to Bryant on a mismatch against Nate McMillan. He's got to think about scoring.
Bryant does just that. The 6-year man from Seton Hall has his first hoop. Back to a 7-point lead. Askew, strong move and draws the foul from Dudley. That'll be his third.
Number 24, Chris Dudley, his third.
The most difficult thing for players to do is read the mismatch and then take advantage of it. This time Mark Bryant does, knowing he's got a guard on him, and Nate McMillan is able to score over him for his first 2.
Detlef Schrempf returns for Seattle, while Strickland and Cliff Robinson are back for Portland. You saw Dudley going on along with James Robinson.
Dudley picked up his 3rd personal foul. So again, in short minutes, foul problems plague Chris Dudley. Not happy with it as the Trailblazers go into penalty. And Askew, he's playing 4-quarter ball with that ring, but he's getting them all to go in.
45-39. Portland by 6. Steal by Askew. But Carl really does get them studying those passing lanes, anticipating passes, and that's why they lead the NBA in steals and our second best ever in stealing the ball.
Anything cross-court, the Sonics are looking to get into the passing lane, and that's a perfect example. Askew steps in, and with an aggressive push the other way, picks up a foul against Terry Porter as he tried to make the steal back on the wraparound.
Benson Askew, Memphis State, looking for his 4th point. Boy, he has been dribbling it off the iron, hasn't he? Shooter's touch.
Now that's that.
Returning for Portland, Clyde Drexler for Parkway.
There's the 2 teams in NBA history with over 1,000 steals in a year. They have 2 today, needing 17 coming in for the record.
You only call that a shooter's touch when it goes in. Otherwise, this is a bad shooter.
4-point game as Portland goes on the attack. Porter for 2. He has 7. New role for Porter, non-starter this year. Strickland's taken over as the point guard. And a foul. Cliff Robinson picks up the foul in disbelief, and we have a timeout.
Robinson's first personal.
Wanted to say hello to his mom watching in Buffalo, New York. He lost his grandfather, passed away in this past week. Big Buffalo Bills fan. He says, I won't quit on him.
The Bills have cost him a lot of money.
Ricky Pierce and others. Askew with a garbage and goaltend is the call.
Cliff Robinson, when he is moving without the basketball, is his most dangerous, and particularly against forwards, either big or small, has the ability to post up and shoot from deep out on the floor.
Drexler for 3. The veteran Drexler will be heading home to Houston, Texas, where he played his high school and college ball for the playoffs, opening round. 8-point lead again. That matches the biggest of the game for Portland. And they've got it again on the Porter rebound. Drexler, he misses the follow, and rebound to McMillan. Knocked out of bounds by Drexler. John Kemp returns for the Sonics. Askew sits down. It's McMillan and Payton, Kemp, Pierce, and Schrempf for the Sonics.
Trying to isolate Ricky Pierce and let him go to work.
McMillan with a no-look pass to Kemp, who can't hit, gets his own rebound. That should have been goaltending. The ball was up on the rim when Drexler knocked it away. Robinson scores at the other end. Portland appeared to get a big break there.
The help defense for Portland is something that's been missing for most of the season, but they got it that time. Kemp right back.
John Kemp with 8 points, playing with a scratched eye, suffered in yesterday's practice.
The Sonics like to trap in the corners. They get a foul against Detlef Schrempf.
We look at Detlef Schrempf, and it looks as if this team has been in a fight. His left eye still black and blue from a Michael Cage elbow in practice, and Kemp with a bad eye.
John Kemp with a slow start and getting off of his feet, but it's very close. Kemp didn't quite get the cap on it, and Drexler got enough of it. So we'll call it a legal block. That's what you get at home. You get a few praise.
It's 54-46 Portland. 4.5 to go. Whoa! Almost tore down the backboard. Taken away by Drexler. Another turnover. Only Kemp back. Drexler is fouled by Kemp. His second. Boy, Clyde Drexler, without any hair, he looks older than he is. You know, he's just 31. He should have 3-4 more good years, shouldn't he?
He should have not only that, maybe a whole head of hair. That's a plague of young players these days, but Drexler showing that he's almost recovered 100% from the hamstring, the ankle problem, beginning to eat up ground in the open open court like he was through most of his career. Earlier in the season, he would not have been able to get to the rim.
All-time Portland scorer, also the best ever for the Blazers in steals, and this year became the #1 rebounder. 9-point lead, biggest of the game. And Drexler leading the way with 11.
This is a stretch in the game where we'll find out how badly the Sonics want this. Down 9. They could roll over because they really have nothing to play for.
Ricky Pierce. He has 8. Drexler acting like a young colt the way he's making his moves. Foul on Kendall Gill.
Against Kendall Gill, Drexler has struggled this year, and Clyde feeling as good as he has all season long, challenging Gill the other way, gets the whistle. Portland with a new 24.
James Robinson from Alabama. Buck Williams is very quiet at the moment. Kemp, another rebound. He has 4. Scramble to the hot hand, Pierce, and he is fouled. Ricky Pierce working inside at 6'4". By Drexler's second foul.
The problem for James Robinson is the same as it was for Terry Porter. Pierce is bigger, stronger, really knows how to hold his position. Drexler came over to give the help, picked up his second personal foul.
Ricky Pierce, career 87%. He's shooting 89% this year. These are the active NBA players. Mark Price, Scott Skiles, and Reggie Miller in that elite group.
You know what that means? For the crowd, you can boo till the cows come home. He's very rarely going to miss a free throw.
Abdul Raouf of the Denver Nuggets looking for the all-time season record at 96% of the year. Foul on Gary Payton. Too much to handle, and Cliff Robinson the second on Payton.
When the lead was 9, they went to Ricky Pierce, and he's the guy that's brought them back in the ball game. Sam Perkins, big smooth as they like to call him, in the ball game, and we'll see if they give Perkins a chance to give him a shot in the arm and challenge to get even closer.
Robinson at the line, averaging 20 points on the year, the top Portland. He's got 9 today.
Cliff Robinson is easily the most emotional trailblazer, and the strength of his game is at the offensive end. He's very good defensively, helping off the ball, which he hasn't been able to do much of because he's been stuck in the middle.
I hope that Dudley will be able to give him some quality minutes in the playoffs against Houston. Put Dudley on from penalized line, and that would send Robinson on Robert Horry. Ooh, tough traffic, and Payton unable to hit. James Robinson hurries it into the offensive end to Drexler, and a foul on Kemp. Clyde was on his way up the ladder for something special. Third on Kemp.
Well, there was excitement all the way on this. One, James Robinson with the ball in the middle. You never know what's going to happen with that high dribble. This time, a real good decision. Drexler on the way up. Kemp said, "Oh, ball." See, talking to Tommy, he said, "You, even with my bad eye, I could see that."
Drexler looks for his 12th point. The goal scores. And Shrimp, a brief rest, is back in for Sean Kemp.
Kemp has 3 personal fouls, and of course, through his career in a help position, fouls have always plagued him, and he likes to give help, but he's got to watch out for that in the playoffs.
58-50, the Portland lead. Blazers who have beaten some good teams. They've also lost the teams that, especially here at home, that they figured they should have beaten. It's been a frustrating season at best for these fans.
The most damaging loss would have been the one to Dallas here on their home floor by 1.
Cliff Robinson outside. Knocked out of bounds by the Sonics as Gill and Perkins were battling each other. And with that, a timeout, 2:38 to go before the intermission.
little bit and then saying that they can't win on the road. And George Carl said, what do you mean? Foul on Peyton, his third. So Peyton and Kemp each with 3.
Portland not taking advantage of it, though, as they've missed some free throws. Peyton will have to sit down. Nate McMillan back in. And Nate McMillan and Peyton together are their best tandem in terms of forcing steals and turnovers. They haven't been able to get out on the floor, and Strickland comes up dry.
Strickland misses both. Portland only 7 for 13 at the line, but they lead by 8 with 2:20 to go in the half. Ricky Pierce. Pulled down by James Robinson. He does hurry up. They got Strickland and Robinson in there. A couple of racehorses. Robinson off the window, and it's 60-50. The biggest lead for Portland today. And at the other end, Pierce is fouled by Drexler.
Ricky Pierce has been the offense for the Sonics in the second quarter. He has 10 with a chance to get to 12, but he has continued to put pressure on the Trailblazer defense. That is a third personal against Drexler, so Rick Adelman's going to have to make an adjustment.
Terry Porter is going to check in. 17 for 20 from the line for Seattle, staying in the game with free throws. And here's Porter for Clyde Drexler, the 7-time All-Star, Dream Team Olympian, one of the class acts in the league. Leaves with a dozen. That's the best on either side. And now Pierce has matched that with 12. 6 of those on 6 attempts from the line. Robinson against Shrimp. Draws the foul.
The game has slowed down here in the last 4 or 5 minutes due to the whistles, and the players should make an adjustment. Shrimp been trying to control Cliff Robinson. Said, well, where did I get him? The official always can say down low. Down low.
You heard that a few times, didn't you?
Down low. I was clean up high.
Cliff Robinson at the line. Tough times for the Blazers shooting free throws today. They're 50%, making half of their 14.
If teamwork is any sign of contagious things, the Trailblazers are exactly that. When they miss free throws, they miss them collectively. They all miss them.
Infectious. Kendall Gill behind the screen. Rebound Perkins. Former Laker swinging with a tough hook. And rebound to Buck Williams. And traveling the call as Nate McMillan came up. Rod Strickland, before contact, couldn't get the ball in the court. By the way, McMillan is the steal champion this year in the NBA. Scottie Pippen had 4 today, so McMillan has clinched that title. Askew, a tough shot, and actually it becomes a nice pass for Perkins. Has 4 points. 7-point advantage, Portland. 1 minute to go. Another foul. Perkins, his second.
The Sonics are a very aggressive team defensively, but they're a little slow in their traps and their double teams, and so they're reaching and grabbing a little bit more than George Carl would like to see, and this gives Rod Strickland another chance at the free throw line.
Rod Strickland, he says outside of basketball, he loves bowling and baseball. Got to send him over to England there and give him a shot at cricket. Combination might be just right.
Huge advantage for the Sonics at first inning, as Portland in the 50s and the Sonics in the 80s.
Millen maneuvers off to Askew. Over Porter. Gets it back. And a foul. Williams got the block, but Porter had reached in. And Porter has his third. Guess who's going to the line?
Askew and Pierce have worn that line out here in the second quarter, and Askew is back there, but Askew is a very tough player inside. Got the strength, and the ball came back to him. He used that strength and drew the foul.
6'6" and 235, Askew. Grant returns, and Porter is out.
But Askew is not very comfortable on the line. He was not happy with that shot and the release, even though it went in. And we'll find out whether he improves it by Pottenberg over there. He's got the little defensive thing up there for Kendall Gill and Nate McMillan. We'll see what kind of pressure.
That one does not fall. 63-55. Portland with 30 seconds to go. Another foul. It's on Scheffler. His first. Yeah, it has grinding down here in Portland with whistle after whistle. And many of the starters being rested in part because of foul trouble. That's his 11th point. This game as a springboard going into the playoffs against the Houston Rockets. Kendall Gill not there. Look at that, Strickland, and a foul called on Scheffler. Strickland, much smaller, hustling out, fighting Scheffler for the rebound, and the fans love it.
One of the things that Rod Strickland is never given enough credit for, going back and defensive rebound, digging them out with the big guys. You'll see there, not only does he rip it away, he's able to sprint away from a slower Steve Scheffler.
Make it 6 for 9 for Strickland as he seeks his 13th and a 22nd timeout, taken by Rick Adelman. Adelman, as we look at this former Loyola of Los Angeles star who grew up in L.A. cheering for Sandy Koufax, as a baseball fan as well. In fact, he said he saw Koufax's perfect game against the Chicago Cubs. It hasn't been perfect for him this year, and there are rumors that a coaching change will be made. You live up in this part of the world. What do you think?
This has been a year in which he has been questioned from all sides and angles, and currently amongst the leaders in longest tenure. But the only way that many feel he's going to be able to keep that job is to have a successful run during this playoff campaign. So with Unseld resigning today, Rick Adelman goes amongst the leaders along with a couple other coaches, Nelson and Sloan.
But undoubtedly recognizes that he's going to need a big playoff effort from his team. Gill hits the sidelines with a dribble, and it's another turnover. So with 7 seconds to go, 12 turnovers in the half for the Sonics. Point lead, biggest of the game, and a chance for a little more before the break. And they get it from Buck Williams with a second and change remaining. And there's the end of the half, a very big half for the Portland Trailblazers, who go to the locker room with a 13-point lead against the NBA's best. Stay tuned. Prudential halftime.
And Sean Kemp 2, Sam Perkins 3. And when they want to make those players scores, they can do it.
There's the third steal. Not going to break the record as Payton takes the shot and Strickland rebounds. Same 5 to the start of the game. Drexler drives, and there's the fourth steal. Well, who knows?
Well, we've seen Portland play a tale of two teams and a tale of two halves, and Shrimp finally gets that transition move.
68-57, Shrimp with 8. Strickland over Payton.
There's one area which Rod Rod Strickland has made a dramatic change in his game. He did not have a jump shot. Spent the summer doing just that, learning how to shoot a jump shot under pressure, and that has made him a tremendous player at both ends of the floor, because now he feels he can gamble a little bit more defensively. He also has great penetration. He's tough to handle.
Robinson with the foul. And it's over the backboard on the Sean Kemp jumper. Again, if you're joining us late, he was scratched in the eye yesterday in practice and felt he had trouble seeing a bit in warm-up today. And perhaps it's affected his shooting. He scored only 8 points.
Kemp and Payton are both up on the ball. They both have 3 personal fouls, so at least they have the attitude that they want to change the complexion of this game.
Bryant to Drexler, veteran Drexler, who now has over 17,000 career points. He's in the top 50 all time, and 14 today. Whistle away from the ball, and illegal defense warning against the Blazers.
How can you tell when there's an illegal defense? Don't look at the coach. Look at the player that's doing all the talking. He's always the guy, although the coach does not look happy, that says, I didn't do it.
Seattle leads the league. Not Portland in that capacity. Shrimp jamming his way in, and will get the foul.
What Portland doesn't want to do here early is see themselves get into a penalty situation. The Sonics are shooting 86% from the line, and give them some cheap points.
Shrimp. Won't go. Cage. Kemp. Cage. Very unselfish by Sean Kemp. 6 points to Michael Cage. Off to Grant. Oh! And Cage, no, didn't touch his glass. Buck Williams got a piece of it. Payton to Kemp. Kemp fires. Rebound Strickland. At 6'2", he does get his share.
He gets back, he digs it out, and really is a part of Portland's transition. Michael Cage will draw that foul from the rear. Michael Cage. Sean Kemp has a lot of versatility in his game, and one of the strong points is passing the basketball, and you've got to be able to see and make good decisions right on the money for Michael Cage. See Kemp is down and really challenging Cliff Robinson, so they're trying to put pressure on the ball. Good rebound for him.
Buck Williams picks up the loose ball, and Williams with 10. His scoring numbers are up this year, averaging just under 10. Payton in trouble. Cage there to bat home an easy one, and he has 8, almost double his average. 74-61 Portland. Robinson, a tough leaner. He has 13. And Gary Payton saves outside. Played near Portland, down at Corvallis at Oregon State, and lays it in. He has 6.
If the Sonics are going to change the complexion of the game, they're going to have to make Portland a perimeter team shooting the ball under pressure. Portland has been able to move the ball, make good decisions, pound it inside, steal, and a turnover for the Sonics.
Third steal this half, 5 in the game. Shrimp. And Payton has it blocked. Buck Williams. Rod Strickland at the other end to Cliff Robinson, and Sean Kemp has his 4th foul. Gill slow getting up at the other end. That's something a coach going into the playoffs. It's the last thing he wants to see, one of his starters going down. A timeout, 7:36 left in the third. Trail Blazers maintaining a 13-point lead.
All new Fresh Prince. NBC Monday.
There's only one beer with pure refreshment written all over it. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft and MGD Light. Why so many people are getting out of the old and into the cold.
Having been ranked the best compact sport utility vehicle in initial quality by its owners, we thought the Toyota 4Runner's extra value package might go unnoticed. So we put a twist on it. You get chrome bumpers, leather seats and trim, air conditioning, power windows, door locks, mirrors, and more for a savings of up to $1,000. Nice catch.
From the producer of Aliens and the Terminator. Welcome to a prison with just one rule. Survival of the fittest.
Years ago and shaved his head. It was so bad, and then decided the headband would work for the perspiration. It's a variety. The blacks and the reds primarily. Hits them both. And lead to 15 for Portland.
What is worse than a tape? That is the worst kind of haircut you can get.
In this game, you're talking about the stars that have that look. Michael Jordan and the rest. Millen. Robinson rakes down the rebound. He wants it, Robinson. So he gets a basket, goes to the other end, rips on a rebound, comes back and hits another jumper. 17 for Cliff Robinson. Another play by Robinson. Strickland and McMillan. Ahead to Payton. Oh, almost stolen by Robinson. Payton gets the easy two.
That's a reason that you don't want to be the only defender and gamble. And Cliff Robinson didn't get there in time. Payton with his 8th point of the ball game.
Wide Drexler. To Payton. Foul as Drexler took a good defensive position. 15-point lead for the Blazers. This continues, could be one of the biggest whoopings taken by the Sonics all season. They've lost only 19 games.
Shot clock at 6, and Drexler takes a look. This is a deep tray.
Rebound Cage. Shrimp.
Rick Adelman knows that his team is not out of the woods on this and in this ball game. Very quickly things can change. They're within 13 right now with Detlef Schrempf and a chance to get a three-point play. So Portland's got to continue to move the ball, not become a team that plays outside in, but attacks. And if the Sonics see a chance to get into the game, you're going to see their defensive energies really pick up.
Has been criticized a bit this year. They're not as noisy as they've been in the past. Strickland trying to knife his way through the Seattle defense, draws the foul.
Seattle foul.
Payton gets the ball, his 4th. And a timeout with 5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter here in Portland. The home team by 13.
On receive from Nautilus Plus.
Hey, so we would have had shoes like this. Do you think we'd still be playing now?
Hey, Dan. Yeah. Come here for a minute, big guy. Tell me about your shoe, man. This the one you don't wear this? My name on this shoe. They don't put my name on this shoe, man. They got Michael Jordan. They won't put Dennis Rodman on that, see? They won't put Dennis Rodman on that, see? Eric Darwin. They should at least paint the bottom blonde or something.
Hey, you get a tough case athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning. You want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough actin' Tinactin. Clinically proven Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get tough-actin Tinactin.
When the quintuplets were born, we went from a family of 3 to a family of 8 overnight. Dinner time was hard on us and our babies.
Don't worry about anything anyway.
Coaches feel, Dick, that when players kind of coast, that's when there's a chance for them to pick up injuries. And Seattle's been a very aggressive, hard-playing team. Tremendous play by Peyton.
Peyton had everyone going the other way and just did a little quick twist and a kiss off the glass. Back to 11-point lead. 10 for Peyton. I was worried about Denver, too. More on that later. Seattle picking up that defense.
Now Portland now having to work against the clock. They get a foul against Nate McMillan.
His first.
What makes NBA players like Gary Payton so tough? The ability to change direction. Now you see, now you don't. See him come right down on Drexler and quickly spin the other way. The crowd here wanted to travel, but that's a good shoot.
Robinson clears to Grant on the side. Short rebound Kemp. Seattle could get down to a single-digit deficit. It's Schrempf who takes it and almost misses everything. Williams has it knocked away by Kemp. Fans at that end thought there was a slap. Kemp with 4 fouls.
It is nervous time for the fans here in the Coliseum because they're seeing their team not move the ball, not move themselves as quickly and move the basketball as well as they did against the defense of Gary Payton and the Sonics.
Jerome Kersey, the veteran from Longwood College, Virginia, replaces Grant. Grant with only 2 points, and he's been averaging only 4.8 the last 4. Strickland out to Drexler. Wide open is Robinson. He's short. Michael Cage for the green of Seattle.
Give Cage that shot.
Kemp with the offensive rebound. Payton. Gary Payton. And it's a 9-point game. And the fans are getting vocally nervous. 4 to go in the third. Strickland rattles out, and Cage has another rebound, and wide open is Payton at the other end. 80-73, and Rick Adelman's going to have to call a timeout. Oh, Gary Payton comes to life here in the quarter. 10 points for a man that Charles Barkley said is in the second level behind Elijah and Robinson for most valuable player.
A good look ahead by Michael Cage. You always want your big people looking down court in case you have a chance to get a breakaway. And Payton has taken his team on his back, loaded them up and said, guys, we're still going to compete. We're not giving this game up, because Gary Payton remembers when Portland used to walk the dog on them. He's still barking and biting. So we'll find out whether he can bring them all the way back.
Last time Seattle fans saw a pass that productive, it was Dave Craig throwing to Steve Larson. Although that young Meyer is going to be a good one for the Seahawks. 9-point game. So they're a 10-point run here for Seattle.
Notice during that run how the defensive aggressiveness of the Sonics has picked up, and they're challenging Portland further out on the floor.
A near steal, and McMillan had seen the ball go out of bounds. Sean Kemp touching it last.
5 on the shot clock.
Kersey triggers it in. Oh, that is good defense. Although Robinson, and he's blocked by Kemp with 3 seconds.
If the Sonics were able to come back and win this game, would be their statement in their own right. Yeah, we can spot you 13, 14, 15 points and still put you away.
Williams just beats the buzzer. That was a big goal. 82-73 as Kemp is blocked by Kersey and a foul. He doesn't think so.
In unison, you had 12,888 behind Buck Williams. You don't have any time. I'll take care of that.
Great Kersey with his second
second. That'll send Sean Kemp to the line for 2. Kemp, who leads Seattle in scoring, just over 18 a game, has only 8 today. Terry Porter back for the Blazers.
Sean Kemp in the last game down here in Portland dominated the second half of play. He was sensational. He's shooting the ball deep out on the floor, taking it to the rim, passing the ball. We'll find out whether he brings that kind of play here through the rest of the third quarter.
Mercy. Payton. Porter left alone over McMillan. Off the mark. Good rebound, Drexler. Won't fall for him, and Kemp has his 12th rebound to Payton. And he has 2 more. What a quarter for Payton. 12 points in the period. And a big lead has been whittled down to 5. Blazers have led by as much as 17. And look at Seattle's scramble.
Chris Dudley checking in for Portland.
If you gamble in the backcourt and you don't get the pass, and again, Cliff Robinson made an attempt that leaves Gary Payton naked, and Terry Porter can't get there in time, and the bounces are now going the way of the Sonics.
Chris Dudley back for Portland. Kemp against Clifford Robinson. Good defense by the Blazers, and a steal by Drexler. Still down at the other end. He's not injured. Schrempf for 3. Boy, did he measure that one. 84-80 the score. Minute 45 to go. Third quarter. What appeared to be an easy trip in the park for Portland has become a tough game.
You never want an opponent to get back in the game. They got a mismatch, and out of it they get an illegal defense as Gary Payton was sucked back in the hole. Drexler in the open court is still as dangerous as he's ever been, but he hasn't gotten any bounces on his drive. But there was Jerome Kersey to tip it in, and Portland needs all the hoops they can get right now.
Mark Bryant returns for Portland. And Vincent Askew for Seattle. 84-80, 1:35 left in the third. Drexler trying to hit Bryant, out of bounds to Seattle. Ricky Pierce back in for the Sonics. He stops for 3. Drexler. 10 rebounds for Clyde Drexler.
A little bit of confusion by Portland at the offensive end, and almost turns into a steal and a turnover for Nate McMillan and Cade.
And that is a steal for McMillan, who leads the league. 7 for Seattle as a team, 10 away from an NBA season record. 4 points away from Portland are the Sonics. Nate McMillan, great pass to Kemp, and he misses the slam. A foul on the play.
George Karl talked about the fact he was not happy with his team's aggressiveness, and Nate McMillan is one of those keys, was able to step into passing lane again and come up with a loose ball. Nate McMillan at the other end to the Rain Man, trying to throw it down, didn't quite get it.
Gets the 2 free throws, however. Foul was on Percy, his third. Sam Perkins in for Michael Cage as we are in the final seconds of the third quarter. 48 seconds left.
The Sonics are like one of those Indy race cars, but the only one with the boost. And so they know they can catch you at any time, and that's what they've done. They've hit the boost, we got a 2-point game.
17 points in the middle of this quarter, down to 2. Drexler batted around, quick hands for Seattle. They come up with another steal. Kemp as the Sonics look for a tie to Pierce, and a great block. Jump ball. Big defensive play by Kersey.
Jerome Kersey has always been one of those players with an instinct for the ball, and when he gets his hands on it, it's like glue. He ties up Ricky Pierce in a big save.
26 seconds left in the quarter. Turnovers in the quarter. Portland 7, Seattle 0.
Taking care of the basketball, and if you don't, it can change the complexion of a game very quickly. That's what's happened for Portland.
Kersey with the advantage on the jump. Just 2 seconds difference between the shot and game clock. Dudley gets his own rebound. Dudley with 7 points to match his entire production on the year. 5 seconds. Pierce, McMillan for 3. The end of the quarter, but a big comeback by the #1 team in the NBA, sparked by Gary Payton's 12 points. They cut a 17-point advantage. Portland down to 4, going to the 4th. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
Toyota, we've won championships in every racing series in which we've ever competed. But one thing we've never done is become complacent. Every time our engines stop racing, our minds start. We look for ways to generate more power, increase durability, or lighten the weight. And we do it, even after we win. More importantly, if we go to these lengths just to win races, imagine how far we go to build your Toyota.
Is that cat eligible for the NBA playoffs?
I want the inside stuff.
Well, then watch closely for an Inside Stuff playoff edition. As Ahmad Rashad catches a heat wave in Miami with All-Star Steve Smith. Where's my playoff ticket?
I got it.
From generation to generation, the Hoops microphone is passed from one Albert to another. The race is on. Catch Inside Stuff playoff edition next Saturday on NBC.
Now that's the inside stuff.
All new Thursday comedies on NBC.
We're used to so much winning.
Strickland, Sonics got the first shot of the 4th quarter, trailing by 4. Unable to connect, and it's Terry Porter at the other end. Way off. Askew on a 3-on-2 break to Perkins. The miss. Rebound to Seattle. Reminder, next Saturday and Sunday our playoff coverage begins, and on Saturday Utah at San Antonio will open the action. Indiana, Orlando, the second half of the doubleheader. Pierce out to Perkins for 3. Rebound Strickland. Rod Strickland, the point guard for the Trailblazers, with 6 rebounds. Kersey to Dudley. Blocked by Perkins, recovered by Kemp. Jump ball. Report on Kendall Gill from Hannah Storm.
Dick, it's good news for the Sonics. Kendall is back on their bench. Dr. John Greenleaf looked at him and determined that he has a sprained left ankle, but he has cleared him to re-enter the game. Kendall told me he really wants to get in here and play in the 4th quarter, but of course that's up to George Karl. Dick?
Thanks, Hannah, and Seattle winning that skirmish. And McMillan fires and hits the first points of the 4th quarter and the first points of the game for Nate McMillan. 86-84. With 6 minutes to go in the 3rd, Portland had a 17-point lead. Strickland loses control, and the turnover to Seattle as Detlef Schrempf reports for the Sonics, and Kemp is rested.
This is part of the inconsistency that Rick Adelman told us about, where his team can change from quarter to quarter, half to half, and we've seen 2 different teams as Portland took such good care of the ball in the first half, and now they have really turned it over and got the Sonics into the game.
Into Perkins, over Kersey, and a foul. That'll send Perkins to the line. 2 chances to tie it up. 4th foul on Kersey. And a technical quarter when a call went against him. And so now Seattle has a chance for the lead. Ricky Pierce will take the technical foul. 86-85 Portland, and now 2 shots for Perkins.
Sam Perkins, shooting 2.
Looking for his 5th point of the game. Even at 86.
As Perkins ties the game, the problem for Rick Adelman with this lineup out on the floor is going to be scoring. He's got to get Porter and Strickland to pick up their scoring load. The front line of Kersey, Dudley, and Bryant not going to give them big numbers.
First lead for Seattle since back when they led 28-26. That was late in the first quarter. Porter there, rebounds Seattle's Perkins. They have a lot of good players. They go very deep on that Seattle bench. George Karl knows he's got 10 cards with which to play, and they can all deliver winners. Pierce against the shorter Strickland, and it's taken away. Strickland on the run. Kersey over the top to Perkins.
In that first half, Portland was passing almost all of their transition opportunities. Here in the second, they have not got any of them to go in, and the Sonics have been hurting them with open scoring opportunities.
That one set up by Vincent Askew's penetration, and Seattle leads 89-86. What a comeback for the men from the Emerald City.
The NBA playoffs begin next weekend on NBC.
Grand Cherokee Limited. With an available 220 horsepower V8 and standard driver's side airbag, no other vehicle gives you so much latitude.
For those who like the
basket and a foul.
I don't know, penetration off the pass of Vincent Askew set up. Detlef Schrempf, his reaction is thank you and let's keep it going.
Well, he just has a textbook form, doesn't he? He really has a beautiful stroke.
Quietly, Schrempf has got 17.
And that leads Seattle as Kersey looks for his 9th point. 91-89, Seattle. 8:45 to go. Through the hands of Schrempf, the turnover, and a rare one it is against Seattle in the second half. In fact, the first. Strickland takes it strongly to the basket. It's tied at 91. Nate McMillan free. He drives. Drexler rebounds, and here's James Robinson on the hustle. Deflected by Askew out of bounds.
What was missing in that third quarter of play for Portland when they broke down was penetration, and Rod Strickland comes back off the bench to get Portland started and tie the game up. Got the crowd back in the game.
Big game again for Rod Strickland. Those are his numbers for the year, averaging 17 a game and more assists today than his season average of 9.
He's flirting with a potential triple-double here. Going by.
Knocked away, and another steal by Seattle. A foul out on the court. No basket. 9 steals now for the Sonics. Foul on Drexler, number 4.
Second team foul.
Drexler has 4 and is going to be guarding the very explosive Ricky Pierce, so we'll find out whether George Karl tries to come at him. Right now they're trying to take advantage of Askew's size over James Robinson.
3-pointer for Perkins. Sam Perkins. It all began about a year ago at this time in the playoffs that Sam started shooting from way outside those trays, and now he's become their 3-point king in Seattle. The answer not there from Drexler, but Cliff Robinson with a rebound and a foul.
Perkins spots up along the three-point line, and if you don't react to him right away, this is what happens. George Karl has given him the green light, and you can see how dramatically his three-point field goal percentage has changed since becoming a Sonic. It used to be 27%. Take the shot, Sam.
114 his whole career, and he's got almost 100 this year. Later said, hey, Magic Johnson, if I'd known that, I'd go on in and post it up. You go outside.
Robinson missed the first.
94-92 Seattle. NBA's winningest team, the Seattle SuperSonics. Only the 36th time in history a team has gone over 60 wins. Perkins, a 2. 96-92-11 for the smooth one.
And the thing about the Sonics is they get a different person in almost every quarter to carry a lot of the weight. First it was Pierce, then it was Payton, now Perkins.
Buck Williams, the veteran from Maryland, partially deflected. Drexler battles and scores. Clyde with 16. And a dozen rebounds for Drexler. And the foul. James Robinson reaching in. A timeout here in Portland. 6:43 to go.
Everyone wants their ideas to look good. But not everyone has a desk jet. Yet. Desk jet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Make it happen.
This Goodyear AquaTread pumps away over a gallon of water every second with its deep groove aqua channel. That's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it. The all-season AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
It could happen at any time. That craving for a Wendy's bacon mushroom melt. A quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, and mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
This is the award-winning Eagle Vision from the Chrysler Corporation.
Damage. Ricky Pierce out, Kendall Gill in.
That's good news for Seattle fans. Gill with a turned ankle is not serious and will be able to give them some duty here in the fourth. Askew lines one in there at the 6:29 mark, fourth quarter. And Seattle leads by 3. 10 points in the game for Askew. He's 8 for 11 from the line.
Quietly in double figures at 11. Most of his have come from the free throw line. You see if Portland can move the ball and move the people in the direction of the basket as they did so well in that first half.
Strickland into the hole and then outside to Drexler. The All-Pro Drexler with 16. He'll be playing his old teammate at the University of Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon, in the first round. Askew blocked by Kersey. Ahead to Robinson. Robinson ties it up. Gary Payton quiets the crowd for a moment. 198 Seattle. Payton, the Sonics scoring leader with 18. Just over 5 minutes to go. Rod Strickland knocks it away. The steal by Strickland off Gill. Can't hit the jumper. Ahead to Payton. 3-on-2 to Gill to Payton. Blocked by Kersey and the follow by Askew. Vincent Askew, a product out of the CBA. George Karl coached him at Albany. Always liked him, and he's really found a home with his Sonics team.
He has been that unseen hero in so many games and doing it again right now to get the Sonics back on the lead. Kemp blocks it, but they're going to call a foul.
On Kemp, he has 5.
In the open court, the Sonics are as dangerous as any team, and it's good passing, unselfish play. Peyton can't finish, but it is Askew on the finishing end. Portland trying to recover, and Sean Kemp gets a foul from the rear. That is his 5th. He's got 12 points, 5 fouls. Carl's going to let him stay.
Kersey has Portland's 99th point, and this one to pull within 2. Today, Mike Mathis, Tommy Nunez, and Blaine Reicheld, and they wanted to send along their best to Earl Strom, a veteran official who's battling some medical problems, and Strom is on their mind. Perkins hits another 3. 105, 114 for Perkins to match the number on that green jersey.
And it's 10 1/4, and he's been their hero that's got them on the lead by 5.
Away from the ball as Schrempf was battling Cliff Robinson. He has his 4th.
Inside, and Cliff Robinson gets a good position right there, and Schrempf says, well, look, 3 seconds would have been a better call.
Flores would like that from one of his linemen up there with the Seahawks. Strickland, 105, 102, 17 for him. Stumbling, and his pass goes through Schrempf's hands, out of bounds to Portland.
Schrempf ran over and grabbed Tommy Nunez's hand and said, look, didn't you see what happened?
Nunez shouting at Schrempf and saying, hey, it's enough. She wants to see a twosome.
Trying to get Buck Williams a chance to get the 6th foul on Sean Kemp.
Kersey got the foul, but the ball wouldn't fall. Now he'll go to the line as Kendall Gill.
The reason that Jerome Kersey gets to see so much playing time against the Sonics today, he's an aggressive player with aggressive attitude. That's what you have to have against an aggressive team, and he's been able to get in there and scrap, make some things happen where Harvey Grant is not that kind of a personality, doesn't have that kind of temperament.
And Kersey delivering. This is his 12th point.
This has been a difficult season for Jerome Kersey. He's been used to starting. He's not starting, and his numbers are down. He's all across the board, but this is a guy that when he's out there on the floor, he lays it all out there.
105, 103, 3.5 to go. These are two teams that are indeed rivals, much like Detroit and Chicago, where you can hear each other's games on radio and see some on television. Schrempf with a tough shot. Drexler rebounds. Portland going after a tie or a three-pointer for the lead. Strickland gets another rebound, but he used a push-off, had the left hand pushing as he went up to one hand, the rebound right hand.
The only way he could have gotten the rebound was to go up with that other hand, but he chases his own miss. He knows that it's off, goes up there, actually got it clean.
At least we pick it up, and let's see here. Actually, it was Schrempf that seemed to be pushing him off more. Fans here reacting to the video replay as we did, with surprise, and a bit more than that for the officials. 47-year-old Rick Adelman. It's been a year where the calls
skill. Rebound Drexler, a three-point game, less than 3 to go. Drexler with 14 rebounds today.
Confusion as to what they want to run, and that's going to take some more time against the shot clock for Portland.
Robinson, but Kersey gets the rebound. Strickland takes it in, stripped away by Payton, and taken back by Kersey. Drexler cashes it, no! Williams fouled. And that'll be all on Sean Kemp, unless they pick someone else. It's Kemp. He's gone with 6. A 3-point game, and Kemp is gone.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold ones. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste,
You know, I've been looking for that.
the world is a very cool place. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to Bakersville? Sure. Take 23 north, the M33 west, the I-14 south, and you're there. Thanks. You bet.
Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Head right over those mountains.
Thanks.
Play. John McEnroe won 115 titles with Dunlop rackets.
Bless you.
How will our new revelation affect his performance?
Five, please.
The Revelation's unique construction flexes to help you place the ball more accurately.
Brad, get out of the old, get into the cold. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
Welcome back to Portland. The Blazers are in the playoffs for the 11th consecutive year. That's the current longest run with the Lakers and Boston. Their strings ending this season. 106-103 as Sean Kemp fouls out for the 11th time this year. Portland as a team with only 4 disqualifications, and Kemp with 11.
That has to be a concern for George Karl as they approach the playoffs, particularly the way that they play and keep being in a help position. That's where he picks up a lot of his fouls.
Houston and Denver, the teams that will meet these two teams in the first round of the playoffs, and Denver at home tough, win by 8. 106-105 as Buck Williams hits a pair. He has 14 in the game. This is the Portland crowds that we remember from the last 5 years. Perkins. Shrimp with a save. New 24.
Shrimp is calling for the ball, but Portland switches off of it. They held it too long, and now they're working against the clock trying to come to Vincent Askew.
Under 2 minutes left. Payton, three-pointer. Rebound Drexler. 15 boards for Drexler. Here come the Blazers down by 1. It's a season high in rebounding for Drexler.
On the shot clock.
Buck Williams. Look at Drexler battle, and he forces Shrimp to knock it out of bounds. Drexler Drexler wedging his way in front of Shrimp for rebound position.
And that tells you how badly Drexler and the Trailblazers want this game, as they're laying it all out here, trying to make the statement that they can put the Sonics away when it looked like the game meant nothing to either one. But for the crowd, this is Seattle, and they would be going nuts anyway.
Through 24. Michael Cage back in for, and Nate McMillan for Seattle as
Drexler gets his own rebound and can't hit the lay-in, but gets the ball back. Kersey. McMillan flips it out for Shrimp to Askew. Can't score. Payton. Shrimp. A new clock. We got 55 seconds and a foul. They're going to call offensive basket interference on Seattle. Shrimp apparently up into the cylinder on their tip-in attempt.
Here it is. Gary Payton misses, and Shrimp said that ball was out. That's how I got my hand in the rim.
The call was made from the backboard right in front of Carl by Mike Mathis, and that's why Carl is arguing with the arbiter.
But Jerome Kersey is the guy that made the play possible in the first place, and right there, the ball looked like it was coming off the rim, and Detlef Shrimp had control, and it was taken away.
55 seconds to go.
Around that basket right there, you can't see very well, but when we clear it, you'll see the ball comes out, and the ball is clearly off the rim, and Detlef Shrimp tips it, so Portland gets a huge break, a new 24, and possession of the basketball.
Final minute, 106-105, Seattle in the lead. Strickland, they run at him, and he eludes it. Can't hit the basket, but Drexler gets another rebound, his 16th. And a whistle. He's got 17 now for Drexler, a career high in rebounds for the Glide.
What's this all about? They've reset the, well, that's a 24-second clock, so they're going to take 2 seconds off that. So 22 seconds on 24, 37 and a half seconds remaining.
Portland's problem in close games has been running the play where they know they can get a shot. We'll find out whether they do it now.
Drexler goes down, and Shrimp comes up with a loose ball. Drexler wanted a foul. Seattle by 1.
Got a foul, and they foul Askew.
Kersey with a foul. 16 seconds to go.
Drexler going on his own and trying to create some penetration. Loses his footing right in there. He wanted to call against Detlef Shrimp, and they don't get it. And that's going to give Askew a chance to build the lead. The reaction of Drexler is disbelief, no whistle.
At the other end, Vincent Askew with 2 free throws. He's been busy at the line, 9 for 12 today. Terry Porter anticipating a 3-point opportunity. Should Askew make both, they'll need a 3 to tie. Enters the game.
Drexler and Mathis are still talking, and Mike is saying, I can't believe I had to even worry about giving you a call.
This is the busiest Askew's ever been at the line in his career. 10 for 13. Most attempts, most free throws made by Askew, and he now has 14 points in the game. 107, 105. It'll take a 3 to tie. And Rick Adelman wants a 22nd timeout. Well, you've got Porter and Drexler, who like to shoot the threes, and now they'll take the full timeout. 16 seconds to go. Number 1 Seattle looks for its 63rd win.
A date on the calendar. Monthly exams.
the beat of a heart, a glimpse into the future. All the pieces that add up to a large dose of caring and concern from a pioneer in managed healthcare. Because babies need to be taken care of well before they're born. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Every year, American business wastes millions of dollars on international calls by using the wrong long-distance company. Now you don't have to waste that money. Introducing MCI's Proof Positive Worldwide. Save up to 50% off typical international calls around the world. Call by June 30th and get 1 month of free long distance. Call MCI now and put your money back in your business.
17 years ago, I had a 5th grade student who needed just a little bit of extra attention.
Nice play by Richardson.
He had a lot of potential. He just needed a little extra care to help him realize it.
Richardson is a one-man fast break.
I'm really excited that Prue Richardson made it to the NBA. But you want to know what I'm most proud of? I'm proud of the fact that he became a good student. To me, that will always be his greatest accomplishment.
They're the top three-point shooters for Portland. Tracy Murray is not in the game. Porter and Drexler are. While we have a chance, our thanks to executive producers of the NBA on NBC, Dick Ebersol, Tommy Roy, coordinating directors Andy Rosenberg. Today's game from Portland, produced by David Neal and directed by John Gonzalez. Mitch Geller, our technical director, associate director Kevin Smolin, and a special thanks to the slingshot Ross Schneiderman for all the numbers. All right, 108, 105, 16 seconds and change remaining.
If you're the Sonics, possession is everything, so they can foul to get the ball back. Portland can look to get a quick score and then try to foul again if the three-point field goal is not there. Porter with the ball.
And Nate McMillan, a tough defender on him. They get the two. Porter makes it 108, 107. And now the foul with 9 seconds. So they did a good job. Quick score, quick foul. And now they'll force the Sonics to make the free throws.
They know Askew is vulnerable, but down the stretch, the stroke has finally come to him, and the Trailblazers trying to talk him out of at least one miss. They'll have one more possession, knowing that they can be down by as few as 1 and as many as 3.
Askew, who has played with the 76ers, the Memphis Warriors, the Savannah Spirits, Albany, Italy, Golden State, Seattle. He's 11 for 14 today. His all-time game at the free throw line in the NBA. Boy, has he ever used all of the equipment. I mean, they needed backboards, iron, they needed it all for Askew. 109, 107.
That is the ugliest 83% you'll see on a day.
It looks pretty to George Karl, though. Back to a three-point lead, 110-107. 13 points at the line for Askew.
They're saying foul, and they do what George Karl wanted with possession of the basketball. Don't give them a chance. Penalty situation, Rod Strickland has to come to the line and to make both free throws or make one and try to miss and hope that his teammates can put it back in.
Intelligent piece of strategy there by Karl. Really puts Portland in a box with less than 4 seconds, so they use some time. They can only get 2 points out of the free throw at best, unless, as you say, they intentionally miss, and all the risk that goes with trying to get a rebound off the intentional miss on a second. And they still then make it 2 to tie. Buck Williams returns for Portland. Drexler and Porter will move outside. Hope that Robinson and Buck Williams, if there is that intentional miss, can get a slap out for a three-point chance.
And you have, in order to get an intentional miss, you have to have somebody like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who is pure. With Rod, you never know. He never knows whether it's going to go or not. So he's got to concentrate on trying to make the first.
If he does, so it's 110-108.
It's a 20-second timeout by George Carl. He's going to tell his team, okay, now, everybody watch out. Don't let anybody slip in. If they miss, get it, put it back in.
Now, this regular season doesn't want to end here in the Northwest. 10-108, and Portland looking for a 2 to send it into overtime. Looking ahead to the Thursday night start of the Western Conference playoffs. Top bracket, Seattle will host Denver, and San Antonio hosts the Jazz, a team that they couldn't beat all year, 5-0. Seattle and Denver were 2-2, and George Karl worries about the Denver defense. Phoenix and Golden State, Houston and Portland in the bottom half. In fact, Karl told us, he said, you know, that the strength of Denver, second best in poorest field goal percentage allowed, fits into our team. We get in cold shooting stretches, and that concerns him.
That's his weakness, and Blaine Reichelt is telling Rod Strickland, you can't chase it until it hits the rim. So we'll find out whether that's possible. He tried.
Nate McMillan throws it in the air. When it comes down, the game is over. The Seattle SuperSonics prove once again they are the best. Number 63 their win, 110-108 to score. Well, the playoffs begin next Saturday on NBC with a doubleheader. Utah, San Antonio, 12:30 for showtime. Second half of the doubleheader. We'll have Indiana and Orlando, then a triple header on Sunday. Jersey and the Knicks will start it at noon. Then Cleveland meets the defending world champion Bulls, Golden State and Phoenix. This has been the NBA on NBC.
In a new world, a new standard of excellence, NBC Sports.
Tonight, NBC presents a family night of music sponsored by JCPenney. First, America's favorite dinosaur in his new network special, Bedtime with Barney. Then, see Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. Plus, you could win all expense-paid trips to L.A. and Austria where The Sound of Music was filmed. Details at JCPenney. A family night of music with Barney and The Sound of Music, NBC tonight.